In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to create memory folds. Alright, so here on our t-shirt we've got our major folds. We kind of went in and we started making some of the minor folds, some of these lighter ones that kind of come in between. We're pretty much finished with this, but we want to make it look like it's kind of an older t-shirt. So memory folds are a great way of doing that. Memory folds are basically the folds that are created if you leave a shirt in a pile or you've been wearing it for a while. You even have memory folds on brand new t-shirts, ones that have been folded for a very long time in that nice clean way. You pull it out of a package or something like that. Memory folds are everywhere, and they're a nice little subtlety. So the way that we can create this, create memory folds, is to go ahead and use an alpha to do so. So I'm going to use the standard brush alpha, and I'm going to set this to dots, and I'm going to go to my alpha here, and I'm going to go ahead and find one that kind of gives me these striations or whatever, like this mosaic might be a good one to use. Taking a look at any of these other ones. Whoops, let's not use that there. Something that has some sort of striation to it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stick with that alpha 25. Gives me this nice, and that'll give a variation in depth too in between on that surface. Now, in order for me to make this work properly, I want to use the dots to my advantage. And so I'm going to go to stroke, and I'm still going to be using lazy mouse, but I'm going to take my lazy step up a little bit, and let's do something like 0.5 on that, just to kind of start out. And let's take our draw size up. Try that one more time here. Take our draw size up, and let's just do a quick test on that. Just with the Z-add, let's take our intensity up to about 10, and we'll just start to kind of draw on that. And you'll see that it starts to create this kind of wrinkled edge here, but that's kind of starting to look like it scales or something like that. That's not really what I'm going for. So let's hold down Alt and see what we get with that. And you'll see that it starts to create kind of these little pinched areas. Now, to kind of set that off a little bit further, let's take our draw size way up. Let's hold down Alt and let's just kind of draw that in. You'll see that it starts to create these little wrinkles, but still it's very uniform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my draw size down. Let's go up to brush. Let's go to orientation, and let's set the spin rate to something like 1 on that. And let's also take the stroke, the lazy mouse step, to about 0.25. Okay, and then we'll kind of draw that in there. What's going to happen, oops, let's make sure we hold down Alt while we do that. What's going to happen is you're going to start to get this spinning look to that. It's going to start drawing that in. Now, I don't really like where that's sitting, and one thing to remember is we may want to break up the overall pattern here. We may want a little bit more memory folds in this area, maybe not so much here. And it can be very hard to smooth that out with all the rest of the wrinkles. And so let's back up without any of those memory folds, and let's actually start a new layer on that. And so I'm just going to add a new layer, and let's rename this. Let's call this memory folds. Hit enter on that. Okay, and with the record turned on and it's set to 1, we can start to come in and we can, let's bump this up a little bit higher. We can come in and we can start to just kind of place these all over the shirt. Okay. And start placing these kind of around, maybe a little bit more on the sleeves. That's really one place that you tend to find these quite a bit. And it's going to look pretty ugly here at first. Okay, but I'm just placing these in, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to erase or smooth them out in different areas. So you can see how it begins to just break up the clean surface. We're creating a post-apocalyptic character, and so the shirt should look dirty and messed up. Okay. All right, so I think we're pretty good on that. I've even got the lower edges. Anywhere that just looks pristine and clean, we want to go ahead and just put some of that there. Especially right on top of the shoulders. Around the collar. Alright, so now we can come in and we can be a little bit more selective on this shirt. Now because we're on this layer, I can go ahead and just start smoothing some of this out. I'll come in with a smaller brush size. I'll be a little bit more controlled about it. So I'll start to smooth some of these areas out a little bit more. Just kind of breaking it up a little bit. We'll still have a hint of some of these memory folds in the different areas. Okay. And notice how we're not affecting our major folds or minor folds any longer. Okay. So just kind of breaking that up a little bit. Changes the variation of the shirt, makes it look a little dirtier. It's been worn. Okay. And just kind of breaking it up. We don't want a huge congregation of these memory folds, because even memory folds, once they're on the shirt, on the body, they tend to stretch and disappear. Okay. Now if you want to push that a little bit further in some of these areas, what you can do is you can take your damn standard brush, and let's set this to, that's fine. Let's set our alpha. Let's do something really tiny on this alpha here. I feel like I need something smaller than that. Try to find the right one. Oh, I think I just found it there. Pardon me. So just kind of looking around, trying to find one with a really small pin in the center. And I should know this, I just not seeing it right now. Yeah, let's go ahead and just use 39. Take our draw size down. And you can come in and you can actually start to kind of stroke across some of these. Okay. And then kind of start to bring some of these out. Now this is getting into some really fine detail. So you'll want to come in and you'll want to make some valleys as well, and then come up along the side of that, make a peak. And so you can really start to strengthen some of these. And again, we're still on that memory folds layer. So all good ways of doing it. Okay, now this is a little bit more controlled. You can come in along some of these areas, and like whenever you're doing memory folds like this way, you want to create kind of like these cross hatching lines, and then come in the opposite direction, do the same thing, so kind of cut across them. Okay, like this, and then kind of just working those in. Okay, however you want to go about doing that, and then kind of bump some of those areas, smooth them out a little bit. But good. So we've got a t-shirt that's nice and wrinkly there. I've got a couple of these folds in there. You may come in and just do a little bit more controlled work as far as smoothing some of these areas out. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Now some of this information here, you can also take your memory folds and just kind of draw it down. So globally, if you want to just bring that amount of detail down, say that it's just too strong, you can bring this down a little bit too. Okay. Alright, so we've got that set. Now at this point, what we want to do is we want to create some damage on this t-shirt. So post-apocalyptic character is never complete without holes in their clothes, and so we're going to go ahead and talk about how we're going to do that in our next lesson.